Good morning, Arizona.
Доброго ранку, Arizona. Welcome to our podcast called Sunflowers.
And Saguaros.
One of us grew up around sunflower fields.
The other hiking between saguaros. Between us, we hope to strengthen the bridge between Arizona and Ukraine, one conversation at a time.
Between Sunflowers and Saguaros podcast is hosted by me, Oля Johnson, a Ukrainian-American community member and volunteer.
And me, Andrew Ripley, an Arizonan who fell into Ukrainian advocacy through friendship and never looked back.
Each month, we sit down with people who live this story, veterans, artists, refugees, educators, local leaders, people who know what it means to carry two places in their heart.
This is our podcast.
And it is yours as well.
А і шумлять, я слухаю, хмарки біжать, милуюся, дивуюся, чого душі мої так весело.
With us today in the studio, we have Alyona Beliashova. She has traveled all the way from Ukraine to America for the very first time, and we are excited to hear how her journey is going and what her first impressions of Arizona are like. All right, welcome. Today with me in the studio, we have Alyona. So Alyona, we have worked together almost 6 years, and I think that makes you perhaps the Ukrainian I've actually known the longest in my life. So I'm super excited because today you've come to America for the first time, from Ukraine. And I'm super excited to hear what America's like through the eyes of a Ukrainian that's never been here before. Just a bit of background. You are the head of our European division. So you lead administration, operations, all the stuff. And you've done an incredible job. You've led our company through some crazy times with COVID, and of course, the last 4 years have not been too easy. So I really think you're an amazing team member. But today, we're not going to talk about work. Yeah. I just want to hear what America's like from foreigners' point of view. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for so warm welcome and for so kind introduction. I'm glad to be there.
All right.
Here.
So one of the things, I don't know why they let me do this, but they do. With this show, they let me ask all the silly or dumb questions. So one thing that has been on my mind as I've been learning more about Ukrainian culture, meeting more Ukrainians is, have I been saying your name wrong all this time? I've met here Olinas, I've met an Alyona, and I feel like I'm overpronouncing the Y in your name. It's not Alyona.
You're right. I guess no one in America pronounced my name correctly because it's Alyona. And it's very hard for American articulation to pronounce yo. You don't have this sound at all in your sounds at least. So usually I even spell my name like Alyona to make it easier for people to get. So it's Alyona, and actually in my passport, in my ID, I'm Olena. In Russian, it's Yelena, so it's very different. And I have a story about this. Yes, these two names, Olena and Alyona, they actually are different names. Huh. People sometimes may call Olenas like Alyonas, but that's not right. My parents, my grandma wanted a girl to be called Yelena or Olena, and they just did that for her. But actually, they wanted to call me Alyona. So half of people I know in my life call me Olena, like in the passport, and half, my close family, call me Alyona. So this is a little bit weird.
Very interesting. Well, it's kind of a novel concept, I think, and I've heard this before too, that you people who were born like me in the 70s, 80s, 90s. They would have been part of the Soviet Union, and you would have a Russian birth certificate, But then now where you live is Ukraine. So, and I've learned that you have like Russian names and Ukrainian names.
Right.
My wife jokes about my daughter when my daughter calls her by her first name. She's like, "Don't use my government name." But you actually have government names, and it's just so interesting to me. But okay, so speaking of names, this is something else that's been on my mind for like 3 years, and I always was a little bit afraid to ask. But this is a podcast where they let me ask these questions. So we work with a couple Alexanders, right? Now, mostly over there, I see it spelled with an O, but occasionally I see it spelled with an A.
Yep.
And, we'll call Alexanders Alexes, same as we do here in the States. But over there, you have a different nickname for Alexanders. You call them Sashas.
Right.
Right? And, okay, so I've never felt comfortable calling, Alexander, one of the Alexanders that we work with, we work with a good amount. I really like working with them. I'd consider us friends. But I feel weird about calling him Sasha. So my question to you is, if I meet an Alexander from Ukraine off the street, never met him before, can I just start calling him Sasha? Or do I have to ask permission? Or does it kind of depend?
I guess you should still ask for some kind of a permission because like we have these shorter versions of our names which are usually used by our friends and like closer people. So you like formally you should call them Alexanders, but if you start being closer, you can ask them like, "Can I call you Sasha?" or just start calling them Sasha. So I guess for this guy, I know who you are talking about. You can call him Sasha.
Well, and I was also wondering, like, kind of on the flip side, like, to me, at first that felt so weird, right? Like, Sasha seems so different from Alexander. Like, how did that nickname even come about? But then I look at, some of our nicknames here, and I was just wondering if there's some that are really confusing to you. Like, I don't even know if I realized that if it wasn't for JFK, I don't know if I would realize that Jack is actually short for John, That's just another weird one. Start with the same letter, but, like, everything else is different. So I was curious, are there any, like, American nicknames or shorter names that seem really weird?
I guess I don't know enough about this because like I hear only with people I know and half of them are either Ukrainian or Indian. But I heard about this weird Richard thing, like that they like short name is Dick. So this is probably the most like weird part I heard.
I have no idea where that came from, and that almost is like a relic from an older time. I would say my generation, like my parents' generation, that was very common. If you were Richard, more often you'd be called Dick than Rich. But then it started becoming a bad word, and so it became less common. And I think people with that name would prefer to be called like Rich or Richie. Yeah.
That sounds good.
But that's actually an even better example than Jack or John, because it's kind of like none of those characters are the same. Right. And the same kind of thing, like I think it's the same in the cultures where you'd want to ask, like, oh, do you prefer to be called Rich or, and like having a name like Andrew, sometimes people will talk to me and they'll just start calling me Andy. And it's like, am I okay with that? All right. Well, so, okay, you're here for the first time. I'm mostly curious about, like, what this trip has been like. Do you want to just give us maybe a few highlights? Like, what are the most exciting things that you've done here?
Like, I would say I'm a very lucky person because I have family here, I have colleagues here. So everyone wanted to show me the best side of the U.S. So I started from California. I arrived to Los Angeles, and my aunt and godmother is there. So I explored a little bit that part, and my cousin, who is her daughter, she planned an amazing trip to Sedona, San Francisco, 70 miles drive, Pacific Coast Highway. And there were so many beautiful places, signs to see. And it was just incredible. I would say there is no word to describe how amazing and fantastic it was.
Oh,
So I had a very nice experience here, exploring California, Vegas, and Phoenix also.
I mean, that's incredible to hear, and really nice to hear. So if I recall correctly, too, I thought this was just kind of a really interesting fact. I think on your Facebook or Instagram, you said that this was your first time going to an ocean. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. And then I thought about, well, it's like, okay, how far would you have to travel to get to an ocean? Because Ukraine is very much in kind of the center of Eurasia, right? So you have to go all the way out towards what? Like Portugal to get to the Atlantic if you're coming from home, or like the Pacific, you'd have to go, I don't know, south, mostly west, right? So it just kind of was interesting to me because I thought, oh, wow, that's like she's never been to an ocean before, but it makes a lot of sense. Would you say that's pretty common there? Like, or would most people have seen an ocean? Obviously, the sea is not far, so I think most people would have seen like the Black Sea.
I guess like almost everyone in Ukraine definitely saw the sea, but not like some people just prefer not to travel much. So not everyone saw the ocean, definitely.
What'd you think of it compared to the sea?
It's colder, for sure. Like it's like it has a great view. This like space, unlimited space, filled with water. That impresses, I would say for sure. And I know that it also allows people to do that water sports because of the wind, because of like high waves and so on. So I saw this both in California, like both in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Like people do this kite surfing, wing surfing, just surfing, and like that looks nice. I would probably even try it here. So yeah.
Sounds good. That's cool. So the next thing I want to ask about. So yesterday to the company, you gave an amazing presentation, and it was really, I think, not just for me but for everyone there, it was really interesting because many of us have worked alongside each other for years and years, and we do come from three different sets of culture. We come from three different continents: Asia, North America, and Europe. And, so for instance, you talked about yesterday how in Ukraine, people there prefer to be, a little, in America, it's kind of somewhat, a little bit less so, but prefer to be on a schedule versus like our colleagues from India, they're used to things being a little bit more ad hoc and on the fly, right? So the thing that I wanted to ask, and I asked this yesterday, but I thought it was a really interesting answer. After doing that presentation and preparing for that, and then coming here to America, what was the thing from your presentation that you're like, I totally see it in these folks here?
Oh, there was like several things I would probably highlight. The first is this ability to chit-chat, this small talk thing, like people, like in Ukraine, stranger people don't connect so much, So here, if you go to the elevator, like if you are in the elevator with Americans, there will be a discussion. Like, what did you do today? How are your kids? Like, you don't know their kids, but you will ask probably some even like more private question. And people have skill, like talent to talk about so many things very easily. Like in our culture, we don't have even energy for this, So like this talent, this habit to have a small talk everywhere is actually very impressive, and very different.
So if you're in an elevator in Ukraine and no one talks, everyone's comfortable with that?
Yes, like everyone is more comfortable than if people start talking, like about some things. Like usually, if you are, like you have the highest skill of chit chatting in elevator if you say hi everyone and then have a nice day. this is like the I don't know, the most
That's
beautiful thing you
that's
can
your
you can do.
extrovert there. Huh?
Yeah, you're super extrovert. Yeah, so like in America, you will be talking. And if like I was in Vegas, and if I were in the elevator with someone who is not talking, I knew for sure that they are not from the US. Like they're foreign people.
All right. So something else I've heard is, especially compared to like the Slavic countries, Americans smile a lot.
Yes.
And is that weird walking around with a bunch of people just smiling at you?
That's, by the way, a very pleasant thing to like to feel, to see, because everyone is very open. Everyone like seems to be happy, and even like you start feeling better because of this. And everyone is very open to give you like an advice how to reach some point, to help. I had a lot of support. Like I'm afraid of flying, and I had this 13 hours flight and then a flight from Vegas to Arizona. And when people noticed that I'm afraid of flying, like my neighbors in the row, like right, they supported me so much. Like my family wouldn't support me better. So like one guy told, like it was very bumpy when we flew from Vegas to Phoenix because of the heat, and I noticeably was afraid, stressed, and the guy right from me, he told like, I'm flying each week. It's always like this. Don't worry. Let's talk about something. Let me please like tell you about some things from Phoenix, give you some advices. And the girl right from me just like took my hand when I was scary too much. So it was so nice, and like this makes me believe that people are not just artificially smiling. They are really open to help each other, to support each other, even for the strangers.
And now I want to cry.
Beautiful. Oh, me a little bit too.
No, that's really nice. Is that where you met the Texan? Was on the guy from Texas?
I met the guy from Texas behind the bar in Vegas hotel.
And this is where you tell me that everyone here is hugging, even
yes,
people that you
and
don't
shaking
know.
hands. Like everyone is shaking hands, and you know, like here the climate is different, and I always have either very cold hands or they are wet because like I cannot adjust to the weather, and it's a little bit uncomfortable for me to give my hand because I probably they feel not. My hand weird.
Yeah.
But everyone will be giving me a hand or hug me, and that's also some kind of different thing from what we get used to.
So what's one thing here? Okay, Sasha, we were talking, and I was playing around with GPT, and GPT told me that one of the biggest differences culturally would be people there always take their shoes off when they go inside the home.
Huh.
And here, we don't do that. And Sasha was like, I thought that was just in the movies. So I'm curious, did you have that thought here? Did you see something like, they actually do that?
Yes, definitely. And this is like even plenty of things. For the first, it will be like, we have this format in a podcast, so I can tell. Toilet flush handles are different. In Ukraine, the flush is often like a button on the top of the tank. Mm-hmm. And in the US, it's usually side level. So at first, you may actually just stand here and looking like, where is this? So it's really funny. And the motel rooms or hotel rooms always have double beds. If we're, for instance, traveling like two people and sharing the room in a hotel, we will have single beds. And like here, everywhere, you will have two double beds. And that's like different from what we get used to. And I would say everything is very big here. Like beds, wider streets, taller buildings, bigger portions in the restaurants. And this story, like this, I don't know, rules around the when you're paying your check bill in the restaurant is very unusual for me. For the first, in Europe, in Ukraine, we usually we are not writing tips on the check. We are not giving cards somewhere to be taken somewhere to let the guy process the payment. We don't trust people so much, like, because I am giving, like today, when I had breakfast in a hotel, I don't have a physical dollar card here. I have only virtual.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm paying by my phone, like everywhere. And in Ukraine, it's very, very popular thing. And here they cannot just give me a terminal to let me pay behind my table. So they told like, could you please give us a phone activated, like with my card activated by Face ID? We will process the payment and then come back to you with your phone. I wouldn't do this in Ukraine for sure, because someone could pay their mortgage, like by my phone. And here, there is a culture of trust. So I gave my phone to that guy and I checked after this. Everything was great. So yes, a lot of things are different. Maybe I cannot recall everything, but this is exactly what I will be telling to people in Ukraine.
And now, and do they tip there, but it's different, right?
Yes, we give, like, it's culturally more normal to give less tips. Also, so in the US, I was taught by my aunt that 20% is a norm. In Ukraine, it's usually if you are giving 15%, that's luxury. So 10% is normal. 5 can be also good. So I didn't get used to giving so much tips. Not like how to say, I can do that. That's okay, but it feels a little bit different here.
Yeah, well, it's changed here. When I was young, 15% was kind of the standard, and 20% was if you received kind of excellent service. So we've seen maybe some inflation there as well.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in California, and you came to Arizona. What's your first impression of Arizona? Compared to California, like what's something you came here and it's like, oh, that's different.
Oh, I would say Arizona is more flat, like in terms of buildings. It's even wider, so like you can see very far here, and like yes, exactly. This is the heat, because the body should adjust to it for sure. And long distances, I would say, because I was surprised when I took Uber from airport to my hotel, which was quite close to the airport, So that's not like you need to cross all the city to reach my hotel from the airport. It showed like 35 kilometers. In Ukraine, this is the range from the city to the town, like where my mom lives. My mom lives. So it's very unusual to have such distances just within the city.
Yeah. Well, some of these Western cities are a little bit different too. Like I think for sure, if you're an East Coast city like New York or Boston, DC, things are more compact, right? And it just takes longer to get outside the city. But definitely like Los Angeles is urban sprawl. Like you can go through 2 different counties and it might take you 3 hours to go from one end of what looks like city to the ocean, right? Mm-hmm. Traffic's bad, even longer. Arizona's a lot like that too. It definitely has a lot of residential areas, and it's just kind of sprawled out. We don't have as big of a I don't know, like a nucleus downtown like a New York would. So was there anything here that maybe like just genuinely surprised you about Arizona?
About Arizona? I would say, like, once again, this is heat, and that you cannot adjust to this quickly.
Yeah.
Like I thought my body will be, I just need to drink a lot of water, and I'm drinking and I still feel dehydrated. And one more thing, pools are everywhere and people can stay close to the pool, near the pool, like for very late time. In Ukraine, if you have this pool party, pool time, pool activities usually finish like when the sunset starts. And here I can see people like 9, 10 p.m. Behind the pool, and that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one thing that I encountered when I first came here as a kid was just how taxing the sun is, especially if you're outside in the pool. Even though you may feel cool, like by the end of the day, you're just exhausted, and it takes a year or so to get used to that. But certainly, like when you're from a place that isn't nearly as hot as Arizona, that is just one thing that you just don't realize. Even if you're outside in the pool, it just gets draining by the end of the day.
Yep.
All right, so I was in Europe last year, and I think I asked one of the team members this. Would people like be able to tell I was an American? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, how can you tell? Or can you? I think I asked them, like, can you tell someone's an American just by looking at them when they're traveling? And they said yes. I'm like, how? So, well, they wear a baseball cap and they wear sneakers, like tennis shoes. And so when I was there, I remembered that, and I was like, yep, I'm standing out like a sore thumb. Because there I was in my baseball cap and my tennis shoes, but I don't know how else you would do it. So I'm curious here if you felt conspicuous at all, like if you stood out, like if people know you're not from here.
It's really different here because people are more friendly, more open, and you don't feel too much difference. However, I would say everyone, like if I start speaking English, everyone recognizes that I'm from a different country. So like everyone asks where I'm from, for sure. And probably this is like this, and this payment process in the hotel or in the restaurant are the only things I noticed.
What was the reaction like when you told them where you're from?
It's very positive. We are quite popular now, and everyone is very sympathetic. So, like, it's a good reason, good topic to start conversation. Start that small talk, chit chat.
I'll bet. All right. So you mentioned the tipping you're going to tell folks back home. Is there anything else that you've seen here that you're just excited to tell people about?
I will definitely tell my family, my friends that everything has even bigger scale than it is in the movies or some, I don't know, YouTube. So everything feels really huge here, like mountain, buildings, waterfalls, parks, like everything is just, you feel tiny. Like when you are close to all these objects. And I would say that films doesn't don't give it justice, right?
Yeah. It's different when you're here.
To this. Yeah, so it feels really different, and it's like more impressing.
Grand Canyons, any natural wonder, like seeing it in person, there's no substitute for that, for sure.
Yep.
So what about your son? You got a 10-year-old waiting for you at home, right?
Yes.
What are you excited to tell him about?
Oh, I miss him so much. He is very he's very interested in all natural things like trees, mountain, animals. So I will be telling him a lot of what I saw in Yosemite Park and traveling by the ocean coast. So I will I have even some natural objects I'm taken from here to present him and tell. And I will be probably telling him and showing the pictures from Vegas, because it's like separate story. I don't know.
Vegas is like a whole other world.
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't start in Vegas, because I don't know what your impression of the States would be, because it's unlike anything. All All right. So I think from here, I got a couple more lightning round questions. What was it? Blistavka. Is that right? Something like that?
Блискавка. Ага.
Ah, okay. I said it right. So Blistavka round. So we're just going to ask questions. We'll say it real short.
And I was.
All right. So what's the favorite food you've had here?
Oh, I would say Mexican tacos.
Which place here felt the most foreign to you?
Vegas.
Vegas. Most confusing American custom?
Oh, this tip thing and chit-chat. Still.
All right. What's been your favorite experience so far?
Nature.
Nature. What about your worst? Is there one?
I would say this flight from Vegas to Arizona, but still, like, I had a huge support from the strangers. So this is just like a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I had there.
What have you heard anything? Like, what's your favorite thing that you heard an American say?
Oh, that's hard to say.
Like, what would you bring back to Yulia?
A lot. I don't even know. Like, I heard here a lot of stories, a lot of things which people think are different here, like foreign people. I have a lot of oh my God, how to say it? Like, I will probably tell about my family here, which is like they moved from Russia and Ukraine, and they 20 years here living in California, and they are all very special. And I will probably more tell about how they cope, how they adjusted. They are very versatile. They have a sick guy in the family, like he is a husband of my one of my cousins. One of my cousins accepted Islam. She's Muslim, right? Now, and it was her own decision, and she is very beautiful in all this stuff. My aunt is she is in a respected age, but she still managed the company. She looks just gorgeous, you couldn't guess her age looking at her. And I will probably tell these stories about my family to Yulia or to other guys.
All right. Well, I got one more question for you. Thank you so much. This has been a real treat. Let's say you get a phone call and one of your friends or someone you know in Ukraine is like, I'm going to America tomorrow. I just got my visa. How do you prepare them?
Oh, for the first, I would advise them to explore everything, not to stuck on one area, to visit national parks for sure, because it's just that's unbelievable thing to do. I would advise them to have a sunscreen, to drink water, I don't know, to take additional probably bag. To
bring stuff back.
Bring stuff back, because I have additional bag for presents I was given here, so I will be coming back with 1+.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. This was amazing.
Thank you very much for inviting me. That's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Щось мріє гай над річкою, неба край, як золото, мов золото поколото. Гори тремтить ріка, як музика. Гори тремтить ріка, гори тремтить ріка, гори тремтить ріка, як музика.